for just a minute here because I'm going to change the pinion seal on the rear end of my truck. And I know a lot of people want to learn how to do this because making jokes about changing the seal in your rear end is funnier when you don't lay on your keys. Oh, wrong keys. Yeah. Well, trucker found his work keys and put them in the pocket with his home keys. And when I say home, I mean from Colorado here. All right. Well, truckers here under the truck. And this might be helpful for people to see what's going on. It changes a seal in here that's leaking. Fluid's coming out. So I gotta remove the 4 7/16" screws that hold the yoke together. This is, we call this a universal joint. It's a thing that pivots a little bit because room for this has got a drive shaft, so it's got like a balancing weight on it. And hopefully this is coming out. So I gotta pull this off. So I'm gonna drop this. Once I finish dropping that, I'm gonna pull this out. I have a new seal up in the cab. I'm gonna put that in there. And a cool thing, everybody that I saw doing this online was using a seal puller. I have a boot puller, almost the same thing. They can get in there and pull the old seal out. If that doesn't work, I can use a screwdriver. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. So, breathing's been a little rough this morning. Hoping it's gonna be all right. Tools I got for this are this. I got like a swivel knuckle on this, so I can get right in here. Hopefully that'll work. I don't know if it will or not. It's a really tight spot to get into. So if I can get in there, I will. If I can't, which I don't think I can. If I can't get in there with the socket, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the wrench. And I've got one here. There's a 7/16. And so I've got like this ratcheting thing here. That might not be the right one. Is this it? I'm still gonna go that one. Okay. There, I got it going now. Is it coming now? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a Sharpie here too to mark things out. And the orange one and that one. I got brake cleaner. I got penetrating lube. But an impact gun. Like that. I had another wrench. What did I do with it? So let's see if I can get this on here. I'll put a breaker bar in here. Yeah, I don't know if I can do it. It's like really tight. Really tight in there. If I could just get her started with this thing. I stoked it last night with the idea that I'd be able to get right in here and get this off of here this morning. But that's not working. So I gotta find a better way. Always gotta be a better way. It's not the right side. So maybe what I gotta do, sometimes you gotta think a different way. You know, this thing is not gonna go in here, is it? Jesus. The good old knuckle busters. Yeah, hey Todd, how are you? I don't know if I am. I'm gonna have to get up and see what's going on. This is gonna be fun. Here, I found it. I let the damn thing slip a little bit. So, there we go. There, that got that one loose. Sometimes that's all you need, a little bit of leverage, right? Oh, there's a skin flick now. There's a chick in my arm. I don't know. It's probably better looking into my face, right? Yeah, I'm doing all right. Breathing's a little rough this morning. So it's just having a bit of a time, but could be a lot worse. Get this up in here. Get this one broke free. Yeah. Just getting enough leverage to break it free is a good start, right? So, good morning, Wendy. We're changing the seal on our rear end this morning. I hope you're having a great morning. I see you got a new job. I think that's what you said. Well, congratulations. Okay. Would help if I spun it the right way. You don't want to tighten when you're trying to loosen. Especially if you're me. I got the power to break shit. Sometimes. There's an old Corb Lund song. Hard on equipment. And that's me. I am hard on equipment. Okay. But yeah, putting the penetrating oil on last night was a good idea. So what it is, I got it up on the ramps, and I just got up in here and sprayed all the parts that I knew I'd have to get the rest out of and let it sit overnight. And I noticed this leak about a week ago. Wasn't sure what was going on, so I parked the truck inside again to make sure it wasn't just oil dripping off of something. And then I tracked down where the problem was. See, the thing is, when you're, as people know, I haven't been feeling well, so when you're not feeling well, it can be hard to keep your energy up to just crawl under a truck or something, right? So, anyway, you're a solution architect. Holy fuck. That sounds like an interesting job. I worked with a lot of architects, but they had solutions. Anyway, so if you've got rusty nuts, you should soak them in a solution of penetrating oil. This is Rust Check. Crown makes a similar product. I do recommend this Rust Check. It's a Canadian one. It's got a maple leaf on it and everything. And yes, congratulations, Wendy. I'm glad you found a good position for yourself. And it can be tough. I know you. Wendy talks a little bit on her channel about sales and stuff like that. I don't know if the job you're doing is similar. Anyway, I'm not sure if people are aware that I'm trying to get back to work, but I definitely can't be running back and forth to work. We already had snow out west. We didn't get any snow here. Had frost. And the last couple of days, it's been so hot, I've been sending the kids to school in shorts. And I tell you, my daughter's actually said her legs were swollen up this morning. Couldn't quite figure out what was going on. We keep an eye on that. But I wonder if the heat change, like that might be part of the problem, right? So, anyway. So what I'm doing here is I'm because this could be a good how-to video. That didn't work at all. So yeah. So I'm gonna do this, and if I do this, it'll swing the camera. Yeah. So here's what I'm doing here. I'm pulling these nuts out here, or these screws. See, that's I'm pulling it there. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set them down so I don't lose them. And I got that one loose. Right. So because I've broken them loose, I'm just using these ratcheting wrenches. They're great. Highly recommend those. Yeah. So I'll just prop the phone up here. Yeah, these for getting into a tight spot, and especially with this, like this thing's like under your truck running, just spinning around, right? And everything, all the dirt and shit that gets in here is gonna get in there. So what I've done here is I've loosened the first two, and I just swung the bracket out of the way. So I'm not sure there's any point in pulling it all the way off. As long as I loosen it off, it should be all right. So got that happening, and so I have to pull one of them all the way out, obviously, right? You can't swing it if it's not all the way out. So I'm hoping this thing will just come out of here without falling all over the place. Universal joint, this little, it looks like a plus sign, I guess. It's probably the best way to put it. And that thing is what transfers the power from your drive shaft to your rear end. And I know most of the people that watch me are mechanics, and so I'm telling them shit they don't need to know. But for those of you that don't know, oh wait a second, I'm going in the wrong direction. It's hard when it's hard when you're laying on your back looking at shit, eh? Anyway, I hope this is good. Basically building data center equipment for companies. Cool. Wendy, that sounds great. Sorry. I wanted to check what people are saying. It's kind of weird being a YouTuber and having shit to do. The next thing I gotta do is dishes. And I'm not really a YouTuber, of course. I'm a trucker, but you know. Somebody in DC's chat was like, oh, I never thought about the fact that you're actually a trucker. And of course they don't probably watch me or whatever, which is fine. I don't expect people to. I appreciate that people do, but you know, I really don't expect to have very many people watch a sick trucker sit around at home and complain about shit he doesn't like, which is essentially what my channel has become. Mr. Slavery's there to me, so I gotta see what he wants. But I think he was having a show yesterday, so I might have missed it, or he might be watching what I'm doing. I'm saying, hey, why are you complaining about me on the internet? Anyway, I never got to the other complaint was the conversation we had about weight, and it's not about him. He has an opinion or an understanding of what weight loss is that's very similar to many other people, right? So I think about that, and I think about it talking to other folks. I had a really nice opportunity yesterday to have a quick conversation with two people I work with in the obesity, like the patient advocacy sphere. Yesterday, just by happenstance, I ended up speaking to two major people I deal with there. So, for the people that are super interested, what I've done is I've swung this out of the way. I've swung that out of the way. So now when I move this drive shaft, hopefully I can drop it on the ground and then finish pulling the seal out. And I'm going to make a bunch of markings and use a caliper, so I'll explain that in a second. So, there we go. Okay, now. So the thing is, I'm going to use this thing. I'm going to use this thing to sort of see if there's some movement here. And I don't know if there's going to be or not. Right. I might have to go get like a pry bar or something just to get this out of here. And then I'm going to move some stuff out of the way to make that work. So, unfortunately, it might make for some boring content for a minute or two. But I do think this would be well helped by some penetrating lube in there. And then we should be able to drop this thing out of there. So I'll be right back. Good chance to have a sip of coffee too. coming back down. It occurred to me, this old rain jacket, it occurred to me I could use the rain jacket to protect the drive shaft when it's sitting on the ground. Okay. Now, if I was a real mechanic, I'd have a lift and shit. But I'm what you call a knuckle busting mechanic. But I just do the best I can. But this is the way this goes, right? May have to do a little bit of tapping here. This probably won't sound good. See, I've never done this before. I've done lots of work on my truck before, but I don't really know what I'm getting into here. Okay. I think I need to like just rotate this just ever so slightly, right? But it doesn't necessarily want to do it. So sometimes you gotta do shit that hurts. Anyway, this is gonna be not the best show anyone's ever seen. We'll see. Okay. Okay. We don't want these bearings to come out here. I just want this to like come out gently. But it doesn't want to come out gently. So, you know, I need this to keep running for me. See what's going on here. You know, none of the videos I watched about how to do this showed anybody wrestling with this, but sometimes the wrestling's the hardest part, and nobody wants to see that, right? I would turn your volume all the way down and probably just ignore me for the next little bit. Okay. See, let's come on. Oh, she's coming out there a bit, I think, or not. There we go. I got some more light there. Probably not a great view. But, you know, we'll just keep soaking her a bit. See what we can do about getting this in. I think what's happening is when I push on it, I'm getting somewhere, right? I don't want to drop this on my face, and I don't want to lose my light. These lights are great, but they fall over real easy. There we go, starting to come now. Gotta just get that in there. There's just a lot of gunk in there. And see, I think if I get this to throw you from one side, it'll come out on the other side too. Just one after the other. You know what I'm seeing? You know what I think? I think there's something else there too. I take the top off because I think there's a little bit in the way. think there's a little bit in the way here. That may be the problem. So, move this over here. People, I know they love this. Not to be, he chiseled, I chalked them. I've got them up on ramps, and I've got the front of the truck chalked. Yes, Top, good thinking. You know what? I appreciate you're thinking about the important shit, man. Oh, yeah, I did that. So yeah, the parking pole on the tranny would not hold this thing once it lets go. Yeah, yes, I do have it set up. Now, if perchance my chalk doesn't hold, but it's one from a big truck, so it should hold this little thing. But if perhaps, you know, I die, I'll let you guys know who to call at 911. And if you don't mind just letting them know to come collect my remains. But, you know, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, I put a big chalk up at the front there so it can't roll. And the ramps, I have it on like oil change ramps, the back end, and it's sitting, there's like kind of like a little well, so it doesn't want to run either, which is good. Now, I'm used to like, I did something that I do when I'm doing other types of work, and I realized now that it might not have been my best choice given what I'm working with here, because maybe it's holding a little bit more than it looks like. Now, it's hard to, I can't see what I'm doing now either, right? So let's just get this in here. Okay, so that's getting, is that getting that? Yeah, it's getting it going the right way. I don't know why my brain, if I can't see what I'm doing, I'll forget which way it's loose and tight, which is not really smart. I should be able to figure that out by now. But I find when I'm blind on shit like that, it doesn't go right. Anyway, I think the brackets are holding it just a hair, because I see it wanting to move on the bottom and not the top. So I think I'll be able to get this thing out of there shortly. And I feel like Top, you're an expert at this. You're looking at me wondering what the fuck's wrong with this guy. And I am an amateur at mechanics. But I'm also very poor right now. Not in a worldwide sense, but you know, I don't have any extra cash. So $80 to a seal and a bunch of my time, even though I'm not feeling good. But I was also thinking, this is a good test of me getting under a hoe and putting some chains on, right? This is the kind of thing. It's not a perfect example of what I do at work, but because I don't usually do fiddly little shit like this, but I do some funny little things. So let's get this going here. So now that's been sprayed a bit. Give that a good hit there. And where did that big pry bar go? Here we go. So now we'll see if I'll pop these out of here now. There we go, yeah. There, now she's coming out. Okay. See, this is the part where having a little thing to tap is good, right? So roll that out of there, and then what I want to do is pull this out without knocking it on myself, but I also want to I don't know if I'm gonna have to chalk this up to get this thing to spin, or if I can just pull this out of here. So that might be a problem, right? Because I might have to jack the truck up so I could spin everything independently. I do have a couple of jack stands for that purpose, so I just don't know if I'm gonna have to do that to rotate this, or if I can rotate this out of here the other way. Let's see. There we go. Now she's coming out. And this is an aluminum one. So she's super light. Super, super light. Now, I'm gonna spray the inside with a bit of brake cleaner. So I'll probably move the camera out of the way for a minute here. Because I wanna get the brake cleaner and clean things out here, because it's important that I mark this perfectly with the marker and everything. So got some orange marks to know how to put the drive shaft back in, and I don't think anything's gonna move. But so what I got here is I got this to check how far in the nut is. So I'm using my calipers here to check how far the nut is, and then I can check it here on the depth gauge. So what I want to do is make sure I've got that perfectly marked, and it is 1, 2, 3. It's basically almost 4 millimeters in, and so I'll show you what's going on here. I'm going to take this nut here out. And what I'm going to do is going to mark the nut. I'm going to mark the yoke. I'm going to mark the bolt part too. The spindle's got this threaded section on it, right? So I'm going to be breaking that free here in a second. So here we go. Now, I do want to check. There's a couple of sizes they said this could be. And it seems like GM's are 1.25 inches. I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's going to be the right one for sure. Okay, so I'm going to take this marker with a Sharpie here, and I'm going to mark everything like this. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm using the marker on the threads because it'll help be a marker of where things are at. And then if I go up here, I can see. I might have to clean this off. You see that? I think it's getting pretty messy under the truck here. This is why my phones don't always last that great. Anyway, so here we go. So this is the part where I'm giving you a fair warning. I would just go ahead and turn your volume all the way down, because this will be loud for a second here. Okay, you see, I got this pretty good sized nut off of there. That's good. Now, I'll put you guys over by the drive shaft here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna wipe this really quickly just to get like these little bits and pieces out of here. I'm getting them out because I don't want them to fall into the diff. I don't want to have little bits of rust and metal pieces in the diff after I pull it out, right? So then the next thing I got to do is pull this off of here. Now there's going to be fluid coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this all in here. I got these screws here. I got my calipers. I know it's about 4 millimeters, right? Now I took the orange marker and marked this, but I want to mark it again. So it's orange, and there's orange there, and I got the black marker marked there too. So the thing is, I'm hoping the dead blow hammer will help me do this without doing any damage. They do make a gear puller thing that could do this, but I don't have any time or money. And so it seems like maybe what I gotta do is just be strong and get this thing off here. And I can hear it pulling on there, right? Now, I do have a backup plan for this too, but Probably also a good time to have your volume off. I can't imagine this sounds good. It is starting to come. Try the deadbolt hammer a bit too. Okay. I've thought of something too. This thing. If I got it here. Yeah, this could work. Yeah. So I got this here. Just try to get a little bit of pressure all the way around. It ain't going well. Like I say, they make a thing that does this. It ain't what I got. I'm having to do it the hard way. You got the hard way, the cowboy way. Of course, you don't want this popping off on the highway. I've seen it happen. Thankfully, not to me. So, I think I got an idea though. The question is, it gonna work? Probably not. Probably not. A lot of ideas I have don't work. Another sip of coffee, that's for damn sure. I think I can get this thing off here. I'm also remembering that the numbers are at the top. And I also think I want to make another mark here. I want this thing to line up perfectly. And I feel like I could make a better mark now. And it never hurts to make an extra mark. And make sure you know where shit's going, right? Put 2 of them on there with a better chance. Now, here we go. I'll try a little bit more. Oh. She's coming, but it ain't coming easy. So, it won't take much longer now, I don't think. But you're going to have to keep banging at it. So people are still watching this. Remember to keep your volume down. Okay. Okay. Oh. Give me one of my big ass wrenches. I'm gonna go get one and see if tapping on that makes it come out a little straight and gives me a chance for another sip of coffee. I'm tired of laying on my side anyway. All right. There we go. All right. I'm assuming everybody left, but maybe they didn't. Okay. Is that a big enough one? I don't think so. Is this a big enough one? I don't think so. Give me a chance to get something in there, maybe. Let's see. I might be able to get that in there. All right, here we go. I don't know, I might have to write a song about this shit. You loved all kinds of driveshaft low-rise loud music. Always wanted to be, or tired of being smoked. Well, I'm not much of a tire smoker there, Top, but I tell you one thing. You're smoking tires, you're probably also smoking driveshafts. And I try not to. I had a thing on my work truck a couple of years ago. It just driveline just fell apart. It had worn out. My truck at work is, I don't know, 15, 16 years old. I don't even know how many miles are on it because the odometer's been replaced twice since I started there. Because something wrong with the dashboards in these old freight shakers. But I picked up a 47-ton hoe, came in, everything was fine, split, went to go hook it back up, truck wouldn't fucking move. Tried everything. I wasn't too far away from the yard, so they sent a mechanic down. He worked on it for 5 minutes and figured out that the thing had just stopped working. But he needed to climb under there to look at it. Oh, this ain't going well, but there's always a way. There's always a way. It's usually a matter of figuring out how to put something there that'll start breaking it loose without doing any damage. And that's always a trick. Right? Like I could put something on here like a strap and use a strap to work on it, right? And start pulling it off. I definitely want to have that a little closer here when it starts coming, right? It doesn't seem to really want to move. it was coming, and then it stopped, so. Makes me wanna wonder if I could like pull it on there. If I could do that. Did I try that already? I feel like I did. It makes me wonder if this is like something that pries this way. It is coming. Still slow but sure. There we go. Holy shit. I don't know if anybody's still watching this. I don't even know where I put my phone. But I'm gonna get this motherfucker off of here somehow. Okay. Okay. Alright, here we go. And here. I don't know. I may have to go get a gear puller of some sort, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying really hard not to. Oh. Feels like if I could build myself like a little piece to bring this out, but it's starting to come right off of here. It needs more encouragement. She's coming off of here somehow. And this little thing stays there. Like it is coming. It is coming off of here, but it's going slow. It's going slow. So move myself here now. I'm starting to make some actual headway here, but this sure ain't easy. It's so hard to get in there, make any headway. Really, I got a whole bunch of viewers in here because why? Because nobody's ever seen a big motherfucker under his truck. So, Mommy, how are you doing? I'm putting on a clinic about how to remove a pinion seal and change it. And as you can see, the trucker ain't no mechanic. How did I get so many viewers? How the hell did that happen? People are like probably wondering what the fuck's going on here. How are you doing, Sumami? What the hell's going on in here? This day I'm under my truck. I've just removed my drive shaft so I can replace the seal on my rear end. Which, when I told Slim that the other day, he thought that was hilarious. But at that point, I was just ordering. I was ordering it. People that were here yesterday heard me get the call that my seal had come in. And, I didn't know seal hunting would be so hard. Is it too soon for that joke? I don't know. Anyway, I'm an ugly motherfucker down here. I gotta take this thing off because it just keeps falling off. Anyway, what is bink bink bonk? Oh yeah, you're just talking about the sound effects. What the fuck's going on? You turn your volume down. I'll tell you when I'm done making this noise. I think the song I should redo now is You Gotta Get Them Separated. That'll be my parody of You Gotta Keep Them Separated. Hopefully this thing doesn't let go all of a sudden and fall on my face. The last thing I need is a dental bill. We're getting there. We are getting there. Okay. There it is. Okay. Okay. There it is. This is just maybe the least amount of fun I've had in a while. But still viewers, holy fuck. Why are people watching this? Anyway, good morning and welcome to the Al Trucker Show, where sometimes I complain about shit that's wrong, and today I'm trying to fix something that's wrong. And, just want to make sure this is coming out of here. But yeah, I don't have a gear puller. I got 177,000 clicks on my truck. I'm selling it, by the way. Not because there's anything wrong with it, because once this seal is fixed, it'll be great. But I'm selling it for this one reason, which is that I don't really need a truck all the time. What I do need is a car for my kids to drive, and cheaper on fuel. So that's what I'm working on. Okay, let me see how this thing's doing. It's hard to believe people are watching me do this. I thought like 2 or 3 people would watch this nonsense, but anyway, it is what it is. This thing does not want to come off of here. What may end up happening is I may have to ride into town and grab myself a gear puller. I think I can rent or buy one. It's not really what I wanted to do this morning, but I got to come up with something, right? See if I had, yeah, because I can put these back in and put something in there and just face it up against there. That would work. Oh boy. Well, you know what that means? I'm gonna fire up the Triumph. I think the only way this is gonna come off is with a gear puller. A lot of people showed me just banging her off of here, but I think I either gotta go buy or rent one. I'm 99% sure I can rent one. And so, you know, that'll work. I'm gonna put this back up here so it does not get lost. There we go. Oh, good morning. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Al Trucker Show, where you get to see an ugly motherfucker work on his truck. Usually, I'm trying to recover from being sick. And I tell you, this is like a test to see if I can get back to work. And I think I can, but this is This is becoming a little fucking brutal. All right, well, I ended up having to end my show. Because the only other thing I could do is show you guys what it's like to ride to town from my place. But I would probably end up doxing myself or something. And I'm not supposed to do that, so, you know, here I am. All right, so, for people that want to know, what needs to happen now is, after I get this thing off of here, I'm going to pull out the seal, put a new seal in, put it all back together again, top up the diff fluid so the rear end's got lots of fluid in it, and just make sure everything's all right. And then, and only then, put the truck back down on the ground and take it for a test drive. So, key things to remember here. There's a pre-tension in your rear end. And you want to mark with a marker where everything is. And I used I used my digital calipers. The battery fell in them, but they still work. So, digital calipers got no battery, but the manual part still works. It's just under 4 millimeters from the face, the outside face of the nut, to the top of the threaded spline. That's where you want to take this thing to on my truck. You don't want to do that. You don't want to listen to what I said. You want to check the one on your truck. I marked it with a marker, so when I hand tighten it, I can line it all up. Everything will line up. I've got a mark. I got a mark from a Sharpie on here. I'll show you that. Where the fuck is it? There it is. And it's hard to see, but there's a mark in there that I marked with the Sharpie, and I can line it all up. And I know where it's got to be. So, since I got to go get a gear puller, a smart idea would be to get yourself a gear puller first. But you know what? Sometimes you got to learn things the hard way. And I tell you one thing, Al Trucker knows how to learn things the hard way. So I watched like 8 different videos about redoing a seal on a rear end. Couldn't find one for my exact rear end, but I got a few GM ones that have very similar setups. They look almost identical. They're in different trucks. And I honestly don't know if Colorado, Suburban, Avalanche, stuff like that, some of the light-duty Silverados, maybe they all do use this same rear end. But I would think this axle is a little bit lighter duty than some of those, but could be the same as in a Suburban or a Yukon for sure. So I had a few videos I watched on that. Anyway, this is not really a how-to video. It's more of a hangout and chat video with me wanting to make sure people don't fuck shit up. Anyway, remember to make sure everything lines up. And I marked my drive shaft and I marked everything, so I put it all back together the way it came out of here. I'm also going to clean up everything. I'm going to clean up and wipe out with brake fluid the yoke here. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to make sure I don't contaminate the fluid, and I'm going to top it up with the right grade gear oil. So that's basically it. So thank you everybody for coming by and watching my show. Of course, when I get back to work, I won't be doing a show, but as long as I'm here doing the show, I'm usually going to be bitching about shit I don't like. Anyway, thanks everyone. I don't know how to ungo live, but I'm going to do this and see if it works.